Hey everybody, welcome back to another One Beer Chat. Guys, I got some pretty cool news to share with you. Check it out. I bought a farm, so I'm super excited. I'm gonna try to get my phone here tucked up out of the wind. It's really windy today. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, but I wanted to kind of show you guys the farm a little bit and talk about what I've kind of found so far and a lot of stuff that needs to be figured out. But before we do, guys, hey, cheers to another One Beer Chat. So my family and I, we've been looking for some property for, I don't know, probably about like 3 years now. Have missed a lot of opportunities, which honestly now I'm kind of glad because there's a lot of times I was bummed out. But this property I'm really excited about. The good Lord certainly blessed us with an opportunity, some really good timing on things. Things just kind of came together, and we were able to buy this. So I feel super fortunate, super blessed, and super excited to have a new property to learn and a new place that my family can enjoy, whether it's hunting or just spending time outside. So this particular property, it's not far from my house. It's about 15 minutes away. It's 50 acres and it's got 15 acres of tillable. So property kind of lays out. It's kind of like it's not a square. It's more long than it is wide. It's not really like long and skinny, but it goes back pretty far. There's like almost 10 acres of woods up front, which is kind of cool. So the field sits back off the road quite a bit with that woods up front, and it's basically surrounded by woods on three sides. There's the 10 acres of woods up front, woods on the neighbor's side, and then everything kind of flows over to some big agriculture. So this property, it's almost where, like, if you zoomed out on the map and you looked at it, it's where kind of like the big section of woods ends and you get into a big section of agriculture. So I'm kind of like the last property of woods, and I've got that little field tucked in. So yeah, the field covered on three sides. Need to do some work, and I actually planted some dogwoods today on the other side where my field kind of transitions into the neighbor's field. Like there's some tall grass and some briars and stuff, a couple trees. We'll see how tall that gets, but eventually I would definitely like that to be kind of screened off. It's kind of a little low spot too. So I had a bunch of dogwoods that I could clip up, and I had noticed that there were some actually in there already. So I just stuck a bunch of cuttings in today. We'll see how they do. It'd be cool if that was screened, but also provided some browse come the wintertime. Um, the front 10 acres of woods it looks like it could hold deer. I don't think it does right now. I didn't find any beds when I walked through there, but it's pretty thick, and it could be with a little bit of work, like a little bit of hinge cutting or taking down a couple big trees. You could definitely make it where you could keep some deer up there. You could definitely keep a doe family group or two. Overall, it seems like kind of an east wind property with all the woods being on, the east side of my particular piece of property. Hunting anything on the west side, I'm going to be blowing my scent into woods. And I really don't know what the deer do, how they move through the neighbors and stuff. But I guess, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, on the front side, it wouldn't be that bad hunting on a west wind, slipping into some stuff if you did hold deer there. I also just wonder if I don't know whether or not I want deer to be up there or not, if that'll screw things up or not. But there were some old stands in there. There's a lot of trails where you can see they're definitely traveling through there. It's probably a lot of nighttime movement, but coming from across the street, coming north, south, east, and west. There's definitely sign, but no beds, not a ton of like buck sign or anything like that. Pretty much just trails crisscrossing through there. So I don't know yet what I want to do up there. We probably won't do anything at all on a lot of this year, just kind of a wait and see. There's definitely some good spots on the field edge, but again, especially on north and south winds. North winds you'd blow right through the heart of my woods. South winds you blow out into the field. Maybe that's okay. West winds, like I said, you're going to be blowing into a block of woods on the neighbors. The east side is the one we're blowing out into that open ag is probably going to be the key. And east winds, you know, we don't get a lot of them, but they almost always have a weather front associated with them, especially getting like east, northeast winds, stuff like that. I have a killer setup, I think, for like a east northeast wind to hunt over in the kind of just off the corner of the field. But there's 2 creeks that run through it. There's one right off the field edge that kind of not quite the middle of the property, but pretty close. It's easy to access it. Like if you wanted to use it for access, you can. It's a sandy bottom. You sink only up to like your ankles in it. It's really nice. It's easy to cross wherever you want to. The back part, like the main part of our woods, it's a lot of autumn olive. There's kind of a lot of like, it seems like a lot of maple trees. I don't really know if there's much timber value. I do kind of want to see because it would be nice. There's quite a bit of big trees back there. And I think if I look at kind of the surrounding properties and just from what I can see on the neighbors, like if you could thicken up our woods, I think it would help a lot. But it's not just like park effect. There's a lot of autumn olive. There's definitely some, you know, shrubby, low cover. There's some areas of high stem counts. There's kind of a little pocket of high stem count and tall grass. So there's a little bit of diversity. Most of it is up close to the field, but the back part of the woods, like the heart of it, it's not terrible. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible. So we're going to kind of leave it as is for right now. And then when you get to basically the back edge of the property, which is also another creek, that is awesome bedding. So I found a lot of beds back there. So that there's just a lot of old blowdown. The autumn olive is like really thick in there, and then it backs up to that creek, and that creek actually has a pretty big bank. There's spots where it's maybe like a 4-foot bank. There's other spots where I bet you it's like, I don't know, 8 feet down. So like using it for access, you could definitely do, but I think the deer are also using it knowing it's going to be hard for something to kind of get up through there with all that thick cover, a creek that's got a big bank and stuff. Like it just looks like a spot where you're tucked in, you feel safe and secure, and it shows with the number of beds that I found back there. So it is encouraging that there is some bedding. It's just all the way at the back of the property. There's a lot of good stuff once you get kind of back into that back part where there's definitely trails and there's transition type of areas where you can tell deer are moving out to the neighbor's field. It's just getting back in there and hunting it. You know, it'll be a learning curve for me. But all in all, you guys, it seems from what I've seen, it seems like this has the potential right now to be a great deer hunting property. I think there's a lot of stuff that after a year or two and just getting to kind of know how things work out here as far as movement and numbers and hunting pressure and all that kind of stuff, I think this property could be really, really good with some changes to it. But I'm super excited. I mean, one of the biggest selling features for us was that it's dry. I mean, we can walk the entire thing. I'm really excited. That's actually what I came out here today, is just to start getting some trails back through the woods and a better creek crossing for some of our like 4-wheelers and stuff. But just a place where my family and we can walk around, we can enjoy it. We're not slugging through, you know, swamp and mud and all that stuff. Like you can walk every inch of this with, you know, tennis shoes, with the exception of if you're going to walk in the creek, obviously you're going to want some rubber boots. But it's super exciting. Like I said, I feel super blessed, but I want to share that with you guys because we're going to start. There'll be some videos coming just of what I'm doing, what I'm finding, some setups that I've got kind of in my head right now as to what I'm seeing, and just trying to put together like a first year plan to have some what I think would be successful setups, but try to keep it. I mean, you always want to keep stuff low impact, but just try to keep this year very low impact so I can really see, you know, how deer are moving through and kind of what they're doing, how they're moving in relation to the neighbors and the agriculture, and seeing what we'll have this year as far as ag. I think our field will be corn. I have no idea what the neighbors will be. But yeah, I'm super excited. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and more videos to come, especially once we really get to work in hanging stands and finding setups for the 2024 deer season. So hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, hit the like button down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you guys soon again for another One Beer Chat. Take care. God bless. And remember, be a sportsman, make a sportsman.